What's up? W Trumpet. My man Googan. What's happening, fellas? How are y'all doing this evening, man? Ah, man, busy week. Busy week. Got a lot done this week. Got a lot done. How's everybody doing today? Double D, he's not gonna like that. Judge, what's going on, buddy? How are you doing? Fat boy, welcome aboard. TM, what's happening, man? What is happening? All is well here, Double D. All is well, man. Everybody's doing fine. Mama was just yelling at me a few minutes ago. Yeah, Double D, it's right around the corner, man. Time waits for no man. It is coming. Yeah, it is coming. My man, Jared. What's up, Frack Daddy? How you doing? Let's give them a few more minutes, folks. Let's give them a few more minutes. We've got plenty of guests in the green room. Uh, I'm hoping this is a lively conversation. Unfortunately, all these guests that are here are cooking. I want to hear from some guests that did not make it in. So if you're out there, I put the link to the chat, uh, the link to the stream periodically into the chat. And if you didn't happen to get into San Antonio and you're not happy about it, I would love to hear about it. But for right now, all the individuals that are guesting tonight, they are cooking. Yeah, they are cooking. Judges in the house. My man, JC, what's happening? Music Logic. Music Logic's got so many accounts I can't keep up with them. You still TPC in my book, bro. You know that. Still TPC. No Double D. Tom is not in the green room. Yeah, I think he might be busy trying to get his crock pot lit. Ricky, what's going on, man? Yeah, dude. I don't know. I doubt that there'll be many changes, if any, this late in the game, man. I think everything right now is pretty much locked in stone. You know, you might be able to find somebody that bring you in on their team, but I don't think anything is going to change. Frack, I'll take care of that, man. I keep saying that and I always forget when the show is over, but I'll make that happen. No, Frack, Aaron is not in the stream tonight, man. Not in the stream. Hey, Buzz, what's going on, buddy? Darnell is here early. Pretty cool. And man, looky here, we've got a stranger. One of my old San Antonio rodeo buddies. What's up, Scotty? How you doing this evening, bro? All right, folks, 30 more seconds and we are going to get moving, man. I really want to hear from these fellas. Really want to hear from them. What's up, Byron? How you doing, buddy? How are you doing? You know, I need to start chat because whenever I have guests, man, I tend to neglect the chat. So you guys out there remind me to take a look at the chat every now and again. Jorge, what's up? Carnal, ¿cómo está? All right, folks, ladies and gentlemen, once again, man, We want to welcome you back to another episode with Mom and Papa Joe. We appreciate you guys stopping in. Tonight, we're going to be talking about everything and anything, but we're going to start out with San Antonio Rodeo. I believe that event is next week. I got to say I believe because, man, I'm not even keeping track since I will not be in attendance. Right now, we've got 4 guests in the green room, and I'll bring all in. A few of these guys you've seen before. I want to say, Kevin, you've definitely seen before. Carlos, I'm not sure. He's usually in the chat every Thursday night. I know Carlos with a K you have seen before, and you have not seen John Segura before. Before I let these guys introduce themselves, folks, I'm here to tell you that all of these gentlemen right here, these 4 gentlemen are quality cooks and are very capable. They are more than capable of bringing home that GC banner from the San Antonio Rodeo next weekend. So let's start with you, Kevin. Quick introduction, a quick reintroduction of yourself to the chat. Welcome aboard, fellas.
Thanks, sir. My name's Kevin Knight. I'm with Smoking Knights Barbecue. My team consists of my wife, Pauline, and I. I was just looking. This will be the 8th year that we cook the rodeo. And we're looking forward to it like every year. It's kind of like NASCAR. We start off with the biggest event first, and then they kind of go downhill from there, in our opinion. But we're really looking forward to doing it. And we've been competing for about 10 years now. So.
Awesome. Carlos with a C.
What's going on, everyone? My name is Carlos Calzada from Smoking Lowe's Barbecue. I've been cooking competitively since about 2017 until now. I actually am not doing the San Antonio Rodeo this year. I'm going to Humble this year. I wasn't able to get in to the San Antonio, so I'm a little frustrated on that. So I'm one of those guys that did not cook it. But my team usually consists of me, and then my family does come out. They're my test tasters. My wife, my son Antonio, my wife Carrie, my son Antonio, my daughter Carlissa. But I just love to cook, hang out with these guys in this chat.
Beautiful, man. Welcome aboard.
Thank you, sir.
And
Thanks for having me.
Let's go with Carlos with a K.
What's up, CJ? My name is Carlos Moncada.
What's up, buddy? Great
Barbecue.
to see you this evening.
Yes, sir. Same here. I've been cooking for, I don't know, maybe 7 years or so now, competitively. But we got into the San Antonio Rodeo this year off of last year. So this is only our 2nd year doing it. So hopefully we can do something out there.
Well, man, I will wish you good luck very early in the game. Thanks for stopping in tonight. And my man John, what's happening, John?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm John Segura, 2 Live Q. This year, I'm cooking the rodeo with my crazy brother-in-law. Y'all know him, Tommy. So he was able to find a spot somehow and said, yeah, let's cook it. Why not? We'll tag team this thing.
Make sure he comes on the clock.
Welcome aboard, John. Appreciate you stopping in, man. Yeah. And like I said earlier, all of these gentlemen are capable of winning any event that they are in attendance. Carlos with a C, man. I'll just call you Los.
All right.
I honestly thought you had gotten in. Yeah,
No,
I honestly thought you had gotten in. Now, to start with, did you try to get in and not get in? Is that why you're headed to Humble?
Well, I signed up for Humble before they announced it was Lone Star. I had my difference with IBCA, long story. So I was just cooking more CBA events. But then I was trying to get in, but I sent them an email and they said, hey, there's no open spots for individual cooks. Everything is for sponsored spots, corporations. And then they said if you do get in, it's almost like $875.
That is a that's a very steep entry fee
Yeah.
for an event, you know. And as cooks, you know, we usually look for cook-offs where the payout,
Mm-hmm.
you know, is commensurate with the entry fee. So
Right.
the higher the entry fee, we expect that the payouts would be adjusted accordingly. And unfortunately, San Antonio Rodeo does not work that way. You know, yes, it's a prestigious event, but in terms of payout, they are nowhere near any place close to being one of the top payer outers, so to speak. Kevin, real quick, what 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 is the big deal with San Antonio? Why does everybody want to win San Antonio? Why does everybody want one of those black and gold banners from San Antonio?
You know, to us, those black and gold banners are the holy grail. I mean, we've got a bunch of awards. Carlos and I were talking about it beforehand, and those banners mean everything to us when it comes to awards. There may not have been any money attached to them or a lot of money, but to us, you know, everybody recognizes the rodeo. It's the second largest sanctioned event in the United States. So to be able to compete in it and to be able to hear your name called, even if it's a 10th place, I mean, it's special, you know, it's special. And I've been with you both times you won it. And I know how it is, man. I'd love to be able to say we won the rodeo, but it's to us, it's a big event. And it means a lot to us. And we got a lot of family and friends and the sponsors that come out to enjoy the time with us.
I totally agree. John, what times have you cooked this event?
Actually, me and Carlos cooked it together a few years back. I think right before COVID hit, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and
Oh,
it was
did you?
awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, it was great. We got that close.
Oh, that close to get another one.
Yeah, it was that one place brisket. Yeah, I was holding it forever, taking a leak in the damn porta potty, holding it for like half an hour, and then I'm buzzing already, just taking a leak, and then I hear the numbers, and I just start cracking up. I'm like, what the hell? So
we were
it
so
was,
close.
Yeah,
we
so
had,
close. But yeah, I don't have one of those cool banners yet, though. I want to get one, but yeah, they seem pretty hard to get times two to just get into the damn thing, and then you got to cook it. So yeah, it's on the bucket list.
You, I totally agree, man. Right now, before we even start worrying about banners, from here on out, people are going to be worrying about getting into the rodeo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Getting into the rodeo. That's what's so difficult. Now, real quick, Kay, you had an awesome walk last year, if I remember correctly.
I had
what was your walk?
First place beans on the jackpots on Friday.
Nice.
Out of 200 teams, I believe, that entered.
First place beans, folks, and I don't remember exactly how many teams, but usually it's well over 150 teams turned in the ancillary categories. Any idea, Carlos, how many teams were there, Kay?
I think it was 200 that turned in on beans.
All right, 200. And I'm going to get into your money. What did that first place pay out?
Times 2 entry fee nowadays. It was it was 1,900.
Yeah. So, folks,
for sure.
I totally I love that's a nice payout for a pot of beans. You know, I don't know what you put in that beans, but a pot of pinto beans probably run you 15. If you're paying $20, you're paying you're using some high ingredients in your pot of beans. So for a pot of beans to return you almost $2,000, you cannot knock that. Yeah, you cannot knock that.
I used your brisket.
But
it was your
at
brisket
an event like San Antonio, man. Oh, you use brisket. You use brisket trimmings.
I used
All
yours.
Right, that's pretty cool. Yeah. That is pretty cool, man. All right, so Kevin, how many walks have you had over the years?
I'm
talking in any category, not just the meats.
we've had 10 and
10
7
10 walks.
10 and 7 years. Yeah.
All right, that is awesome, man. And I know because I've been your neighbor for the last since Lassie was a pup.
Yeah.
Now I know that you enter all pretty much all of the ancillary categories.
We did. We entered them all this year.
All right. And folks, I'm Justin, man. I want to spend a lot more time socializing and running around, having a sip, having a smoke cigar, as opposed to doing the steak category, the dessert category, the beans, and what is it, like a chef choice? You pick it or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
All right. So when you look at Humble is always Humble is always the same weekend as San Antonio. How do they compare in terms of I'm not going to say prestige, but in terms of excitement?
Well, I did do the San Antonio rodeo, and I did get 2 walks. I got one with steak, and I had a second place chicken there, which I was, man, I didn't have my ticket with me. My son had my ticket when I hit that second place, and he's like, "Dad, that's you." And thanks to the Tito's crew, they gave me so much Tito's, man. I didn't even know, man. I sobered up so quick. Like, he was like, "What, man?" I sobered up, and I was just in tears, just crying. It's a feeling I would never forget, And then I hit 6th place steak there as well too, and that was just, blown away. But to answer your question, I did Umbu last year, and it was fun. I really enjoyed it. It went to CBA. I was able to hit a 1st place rib there, and I was just, any call at a big rodeo cook-off, I was just blown away. I was like, man, I can't believe this is happening to me right now. I'm a single cook, so everybody there is partying and having a great time. But I was there just to really, just to cook, and I was fortunate to get, 1st place.
Excellent, man. I know that feeling. I know that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Kev, I think you may have a lot more insight than some of these other gentlemen. Let's talk about the process of registration, or the lack of a process of registration. Explain to the audience, man, how that all went down. I want you to start with some of the scuttlebutt that we heard towards the end of last San Antonio rodeo, leading up to this San Antonio rodeo. Talk to us about that.
So in the years past, you've always had a very small window to register. You get online and it opens at 9 o'clock, and you wait right till 9 o'clock, and you get on and enter your stuff, and fingers crossed you get a spot, because you never know how many are available or what the situation is going to be. Last year I received off of Facebook or wherever it was at, I had a link that apparently was live before the actual time started. And I filled it out and thinking I was going to get it right at 9 o'clock and make sure I was in, and thinking there was another screen, I hit the button and I went in a couple minutes before I was supposed to. So therefore I had to get a sponsor last year. It cost me $2,500 to cook the event just to get in. And then last year we went ahead and paid the $1,300 ahead of time towards the donation for the children to have a spot this year. So it's a tough one to get in.
Stop right there.
Okay.
Stop right there, and let's expand a little bit on that $1,300.
Okay.
Folks, this program that the rodeo runs is called Cash for Kids. Explain how Cash for Kids work, Kevin.
So they encourage every team, and it's not mandatory, but they encourage every team to have basically a tip jar. And the monies that are collected at the rodeo, it goes into the scholarship fund. Because at the end of the day, I mean, it's a barbecue cook-off. It just happens to be one of the many events that's involved with the San Antonio Rodeo. So everything raised goes towards, the scholarship fund for the kids and their future, which we have no problems donating towards or being involved in. But not every team gets into it. Not every team donates. It's purely a choice of, whoever runs it. But to alleviate the opportunity of not being able to again this year, they said if you collected at least $1,300, you could have your spot for next year. So we went ahead and paid it ahead of time, and we ended up getting a sponsor again this year that's going to cover it for us. And, God willing, we can do it again next year.
All right. So again, folks, in all the years, we've either paid our entry fee or we've had sponsors cover it. And I believe back in the days, and I'm saying a few years ago, that entry fee was someplace around, was it $675?
675.
Yeah, $675.
Yeah.
Which while very high, is reasonable compared to what is going on today. And in previous live streams, folks, I've talked about, Mom and Papa Joe stepping back a little bit from competitions. And I mentioned it, I don't know, 10, 20 times that San Antonio Rodeo was going to be one of those events that would be on our calendar every single year. If we only did one event a year, it would be San Antonio Rodeo. So as we led into registration for 2023 for this year, I expected things were going to go down the same as normal. That I'd be waiting in front of my laptop with all my information ready to hit the send button and pay my entry fee.
Nope,
And
not this
little
year.
did I know, not this year.
Nope.
John, tell us what happened this year.
Well, actually, you need to talk to Tom about that. Somebody he knows, I don't know, a family member. I told him about something. Hey, we want a spot, and Tom was like, "Yeah, sure." So, I think we're cooking under an umbrella organization. I don't know, so we'll find out.
Okay, so you didn't get in as an individual. Somebody else got in, and you're cooking under their umbrella, so to speak.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of my understanding.
Okay. And Kay, how did you get in?
Similar situation to Kevin up there. With last year being the link that we tried to get in or whatever, and that didn't work out. So we ended up having to do the $2,500 entry. And I guess that kind of worked out in our best interest for this year because they said there was no spots available and like that we're gonna go live. So we raised the money for the Cash for Kids again this year, and our sponsors were able to cover the rest as well.
Nice.
So we have our spot as long as we keep paying for the Cash for Kids donation. So I think that's how they're going to do it moving forward.
Man, it's just I hope that is not the case, man. I hope they go back to taking the chance in registration. I would love to see, okay, maybe they do half the spots for Cash for Kids. Those individuals that can and want to raise that type of money, let them go ahead and do so. But then open up regular registration for the cooks who might not want to, who might not be able to come up with $1,300 or $2,500 or whatever the case might be. I would love to see that happen. I'm saying right now, and this is Papa Joe speaking, this is my opinion. Things are going well. Maybe companies, organizations, they have some money. They can afford these multiple spots, bring in hired hands or whatever the case might be. But what happens in a given year when, the economy goes south and corporations are no longer buying 4 spots or 3 spots or 2 spots? All right. And now you've turned off all these cooks who haven't been able to get in the previous years, who might now be going to Humble 2 years in a row, 3 years in a row, whatever the case might be. How are you going to try to get those cook backs if finally you decide, man, these corporations aren't coming up with enough money? How are you going to get those cooks back? Any thoughts on that?
That's a good question. It's a real good question. Unfortunately, the gentleman that sponsors me, I work directly for him. We're in the car business, and as everybody probably knows, this is good, if not better than it's ever been. But there's a lot of companies out there that I know are struggling and that had 4 and 5 spots, and now they're down to 1 or 2, and next year they may be gone. But I feel like it should have an open registration for folks that don't want to pay $1,500 or whatever it's going to end up being, to get in.
Matt, dude, the morning I got the message that there would be no open registration, I was disappointed, almost to the point where I was kind of pissed. I
agree.
Didn't, and I kind of felt with having Mom and I having won this twice, that if I made a call or two, maybe somebody would see fit to let us in. But I soured quickly. I soured quickly on the whole idea of going that route. I was more than willing to take my chance with open registration. And guess what? If I wasn't able to get in regular registration, I would have been just fine with it. I would have been just fine with it, man. I wouldn't have had any heartburns. I wouldn't have felt bad. But not getting that opportunity really, really soured me. It really soured me. I'm not going to harp too much about that, man. If you're out there, I'm putting the link in. I would love to speak to somebody that did not get in. If you got some thoughts, if you've got something you want to get off your chest, I would love to hear it.
Actually, you're talking about that.
I'm sure Carlos does.
Yeah, I did. Myself and CJ Bean was talking about that in 19, because it went up $50 from the previous year. It was $625, and then Bean called it. He was like, "Man, I'll see this in a couple of years. We won't even be able to cook in here." And I was like, "Yeah, I see it." And so the day that that announcement came out, that's when I signed up for the Humble Rodeo. And then I was like, it's like you talked about the pay. You won't. Maybe if you GC it, you might break even in that cook-off. As a cook, I don't get sponsors to pay, for the whole registration. I had a GoFundMe set up for that cook-off for me to get in. And thanks for people, who donated, I was able to get in. But like you said, first place only pays $1,000. Any meat category. And I was like, and then they send you a W-9. So you got to claim that
a W-9. Yeah, you'll get a W-9.
Yeah, so I was like,
so
what?
And for just real quick, we're talking the first place paying $1,000. All right, on a almost $1,000 entry fee. Whereas, how many times have we been to cook-offs where a $200 entry fee or a $250 entry fee, a first place will get you $2,500 or more. Based on the event or more. So again, this is what I'm talking about: the entry fees not being commensurate with the payouts. Again, I am not knocking the prestige because that cannot be knocked.
Not at all.
That cannot be knocked.
When I first started cooking it, they didn't have a payout for the meats. There was no payouts for the meats.
Oh, wow.
What year was
GC and reserve? There was no payouts for the meats when I first started cooking it.
And you know what? I do remember that, Kev.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yes, I do remember that. Wow. And again, man, I understand it's for the kids.
Yeah.
Right.
And nothing wrong with that. But at some point, man, you've got to just take the cooks in attendance, the cooks into some sort of consideration. Something else I wanted to cover. Over the years, look at how competitive San Antonio Rodeo has gotten. You know, Mama's and I first time cooking San Antonio Rodeo was 2013. And it was a lot more corporate teams, a lot more fun, a lot more parties. And over the years, I mean, the level of competition has just really grown. And I want to say last year might have been the most competitive I've seen it in terms of a 1 through 125 cooks. I mean, the best in Texas, as well as outside the state of Texas. You know, now how many of these cooks are going to be turned off? You know, I am not a fan of being the idea of being a hired hand. You know, I think I've mentioned it before. We've done Mom and I've done some hard work trying to create a Mom and Papa Joe's brand, and we don't want to go out there cooking under somebody else's umbrella, so to speak. Anybody, any ideas? Would any of you be a hired hand?
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either, as long as I can get this my own spot. I mean, if they change to that, I don't know. Moving forward,
I don't.
You might have to.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
it
at
depends
this
on.
stage. Yeah, at this stage, man, that might be the only way some of us will ever get back in there. Yeah, that is crazy. Now let's talk about some of the good things. What outside? We're not even talking competition. What are some of the draws to San Antonio Rodeo? Why are so many people flocking to this cook-off? Not necessarily cook. I'm talking about the spectator. What brings them there? What does the event have to offer outside of the barbecue competition?
They do a really good job of marketing to the public in order to come out and taste the food of the competitors, and they usually have plenty of taste judges. Most years there's 2, 3, maybe 4 rounds of judging, and they have different people for every single one of them. And then of course the kids and the carnival and live music, and it's just like going to the rodeo. I mean, it's a nice atmosphere. It's a party atmosphere. Everybody seems to be happy, go lucky. You know, I may be wrong, but what do you guys think?
Same deal. All the parties going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nice setups and everything all over the place. Just walking around and seeing everybody's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, man, one of the highlights is Thursday night.
Well, I forgot it. I didn't want to say that.
Yeah. Hey, we will usually be set up on Wednesdays, and I'll probably come back home and sleep on Wednesdays. But beginning Thursday, we're out on site, and nothing goes on Thursday, and nothing goes on until late Friday. So Thursday night has historically been for our crew, our core group of guys, a serious party. And I'm talking, you're going to get up Friday morning, 10 o'clock, showing the wear and tear from the previous night. And that is something that I always look forward to. You know, it's not very often that you're going to get to a competition that early. And you get to let your hair down, man, and just hang loose and enjoy the camaraderie, enjoy the fellowship, enjoy the conversation, the cigars, the libation. I really look forward to that. And I'm telling you, I'm in a place right now where I'm not even sure if I'm going to come out there and visit you, Kev.
You better. I just texted you earlier to see if you were coming.
I know. Yeah, I am not even sure just yet, man.
He's salty right now, like his beard.
Yeah. He'll get over it. He'll get over it by Thursday. I promise you.
I'm like bacon right now, salty as hell.
What if I bring some cognac? You gonna be out then?
Yeah, you know I'll show up for that. Folks, I found a bottle of rum on in a chat room, man. It's a little pricey, but oh my goodness, it's worth it. It is absolutely worth it. I need to show you guys this just for a split second. I don't know how many of you are in the rums, but if you are, and the budget allows, you want to try this rum.
What do you mean the budget? How much is it?
Let's not worry about that right now.
Man.
All right.
It's an entry fee to
but
the
It's an
rodeo,
entry
right
fee.
there.
Was it an entry fee?
Yeah. But
Man.
it's a rum that's aged in whiskey barrels first, then transferred from whiskey barrels to old wine barrels and aged, and then finally aged in cognac barrels. It's a blend of rums, and the youngest one is 10 years old. So dude, it's so mellow, man. It'll catch you slipping. Yeah.
It
It'll
sounds
catch
expensive.
you slipping.
Hell, the process
Yeah.
sounds
That's what barbecue sauce.
Ah!
I need to start making YouTube videos. Man.
For real.
Here, I'll bring
Yeah.
this out if you want.
Taking notes.
You want some of that?
Not the old Van Wick, that rip.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Man.
So what are your plans for Thursday night, fellas? John and Kay, plans for Thursday night.
Set up and prep everything for Friday. I mean, we're entered in some of the jackpots, so but we definitely party out there. We're fortunate enough to get a Alamo Distilling Company, and they're sponsoring us, so they'll actually be there Friday. But Friday and Saturday, open bar. They have bourbon, vodka.
What spot number are you in?
110, 111. Come out, man. It'll be a good time for sure.
Do they got that bottle that CJ has?
I wish.
Nah, I'm not going.
Hey, so I saw a question and we didn't get to it. I put it on the screen. But what are their qualifications to get in was the question. I believe Cherie asked that. And no, there aren't any qualifications, Cherie. If you've got the funds, you'll get in. Yeah, if you've got the money, you can get in. Yes, I Can Barbecue asks, is it an invite to get in? Now, I'm not sure if you're speaking as a competitor or as a spectator. As a spectator, you have to buy tickets or get tickets from one of the head cooks. Head cooks get, I believe, 10 tickets per day, starting Friday and Saturday. For Friday and Saturday, they get 10 tickets per day. If not, you have to purchase a ticket. And I have never bothered to find out what a ticket costs. Any ideas?
$15, I think.
Yeah, something like 15 to
All
20
right.
bucks.
Yeah.
All right. And folks, when you get in there, nothing is free.
No.
All right. It's great to get in there.
Parking is
nothing
expensive.
is free. You're not going to, for the most part. Yeah. For the most part, you're not going to get to taste the cook's barbecue.
Nope.
You'll have to go hit the vendors and purchase. Few cooks will give away stuff, but they're not cooking enough that they want to that they're going to fill your bellies.
Yeah, and that's one of the misconceptions.
Do any of the tents?
One thing that I didn't like about it is that I guess the misconception is everybody gives food out. Like you get so many people coming by. Oh, can we get a sample? Like you were saying, it's like that's how they portray it as. Oh, all you could do is just come in here. It's all you can eat. The couple times I did it anyway, and people just kept on coming by. Hey, what can I have? Can you give me some of this? I did give John my chicken. I didn't know him that much, but I gave him a piece though. He was one of
I
those.
liked it. That was good.
I think the only tent that does that is Q for the Blue. I think
Correct.
Sean Hay and those guys do it. The donation, they'll give you a plate, a couple beers, something like that.
The hell was that?
Yes, that's a great point, Kevin. There are tents that will have their Cash for Kids bucket, and you drop a donation and you'll get a plate of food. And I'm not going to tell you this is not going to be 2 M's or burnt beans because they're cooking for the masses. It's going to be general barbecue. You know, maybe some pulled pork, some ribs, maybe some brisket sandwiches or something like that. But you know, when you really look at it, bottom line, all this money goes to the kids. Even though I don't want to come up with $1,300 for the kids, if you're buying or contributing to one of the camps, that money is going to the kids. I tell you, Double D, those banners, man, they're a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
You know, I just thought I'd bust out a few of them. But man, it's a headache trying to get them lined up. Yeah, it's a headache trying to get them lined up. Yeah. In my
That's why
garage,
he
they
could
cover
afford
the
that
light
bottle.
switches.
Hey, cheers to that, brother.
In the garage, I can't find the light switch because of banners. So it's a real headache.
Do not lie. He brought all of them out last year and hung them from his tent.
Yes,
CDs like this with them.
You know you're dumb.
No, I'm telling you, every one of those banners is special. Every one of them is special, man. And I love them like they were my kids. Yeah, I love them like they were my kids. All right, let me look in this chat, man, and see where we are. Am I missing anybody?
You know, while you're looking
Let's
at that, I'm gonna just talk about Humble Rodeo, and it's very similar to the San Antonio Rodeo, but I mean not the large scale. But when I did it last year, it was the same. You know, you had your party crew over there, then you had your serious cooks that they had to the side. So that's an enjoyable cook-off as well too. I'm not trying to take anything away from the San Antonio Rodeo, but if you can't get into the San Antonio Rodeo, look over there at Humble. I mean, it's a drive a little from where we at.
Yeah.
But vice versa, a lot of the Houston guys.
I'll tell you, you know, okay. I've heard that Humble is always well attended, and it's being ran better each year. So I don't have a problem, man. I as a cook, if you want to compete, you got to get in where you fit in. If you didn't fit in the San Antonio Rodeo, then next best thing is Humble. I don't have a problem with that, man.
How many teams?
What's up, Mr. Bean? How are you doing? How are you doing?
I think it's less than 100.
Teams does Humble get?
Last year was 94, but when it was KCBS, I think there was in the mid 120s, 150s, something like that. So it was KCBS, and then they moved it over to CBA.
Yeah.
So they get a
all right, we've got chicken fried in the house. Last year's reserve grand champion at the San Antonio Rodeo. What's happening, Bill? How are you doing, buddy? Mario, my man, what's going on?
Bill did pretty good in the Humble Rodeo
JM.
2 years ago. I don't know what he did, but I know he walked pretty high up there.
He does good everywhere, man.
Yeah, no shit, right? But I'm pretty sure he did really well at the Humble Rodeo like 2 years ago.
JM says San Antonio Rodeo is the highlight kickstart in 2023, and that is absolutely correct. You know, usually by the end of January, in preparation for San Antonio, we might have 2 cooks in advance, early January, and those cooks, they've all been about tuning up for San Antonio Rodeo.
Yep.
You know, even though you want to win every cook, those 2 cooks are like practice cooks to prepare for San Antonio. So yes, San Antonio is like kickstarting the year, man. It absolutely is. Double D is in the house. What's up, man? All right, let me get to this chat, man. Oh, Bill is in Kansas City right now. He's on his all right, go ahead.
Lone Star, I've never cooked an event, Lone Star. So is there anything to look out for or anything?
Yeah, so with them, you have to do 2 chicken halves, like this old IBCA.
It's old IBCA rules.
It's old IBCA rules. They go multiple rounds. I think it's 8 and 8 as well too. 8 ribs, 8 slices of briskets, no burn ends. So.
I've never done one
All right,
before,
so
I was
Upside down.
curious.
Done a few.
it's old school. It's old
Yeah,
school.
it's old school.
It's what we came with. Yeah, it's what we came up with. Do you know who the head judge?
Oh, it's 9 ribs, nine slices.
Oh, 9. Yeah,
Yes,
my bad. Yep, it is 9.
Trying
My
to get me
bad.
disqualified
Yeah,
already.
oh, that's old
I
school,
know.
man.
My bad.
Right.
Yeah, 5 and 4. Not you. Just make sure you're at that cook's meeting.
Yeah, make sure you go to the
Yeah, I
cook's
know.
meeting for
Just
real.
at that cook's meeting.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
For real.
yeah, Scotty, man, the good old days. 250 for
Yeah.
San Antonio.
Yeah, the one thing I didn't like though for the San
The
Antonio
good
is turning
old
in chicken
days.
at 10:30.
Yeah, I saw that.
Bruh, that's something you have to get used to. Like if you are cooking the San
Man,
Antonio,
it
turning in at 10:30 chicken, that'll throw your
Hey,
whole
Kevin,
routine
what are
off.
the timelines this weekend?
Huh?
Do you know what the timelines are this weekend for in San Antonio or next weekend?
10:30 chicken, 1 o'clock ribs, 3:30 brisket.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh, 10:30 chicken. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did my
10:30 chicken.
timeline. I did my timeline today, and I just kept looking at that chicken, going, "Damn!" I mean,
You have
that's
to put
normally whenever I'm putting my ribs on, or
Yeah.
it's right in the middle of nowhere,
Everything.
you know.
Yeah.
So I hate it, but it is what it is. That's the way the rodeo's always been.
Yeah. You gotta put your chicken on when you wake up.
And that's the way it's always been.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cherie, yeah, it gets pricey. And man, when they announce the amounts of money that they have given the scholarships year after year, it's quite impressive.
Mhm.
It's quite impressive. Yeah, I just hate that it comes at the cost of some of us cooking that event. I just hate that.
It's going to be different in our camp this year without you
All right,
behind
Mr.
us.
Beans. Man, I know it's gonna be different for you, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully you get some good neighbors. Yeah. Have they? I'm sure they would drop the map, but of course I haven't paid any attention, man. All right, Rod is asking you, are you going to Humble? Yes, he
I am.
is.
Yes,
Jorge,
I am.
what's happening, man? How are you doing? All right,
Hey,
Tom was
CJ,
off for the spot.
what is
so,
the
all right, the spot for 8.
since you won the San Antonio rodeo twice, what are the benefits? Like what did you get from that?
That bottle that he's drinking.
All right, so winning the San Antonio. Yeah. Winning the San Antonio rodeo, man, comes with some perks. Your entry fee the next year is free. And that is how we were fortunate enough to get in last year.
Last year, okay.
All right. For winning in 2020. With COVID, they didn't have it the next year. So it got bumped to last year, and that's how we got in. So I did not have to worry about registration.
Mhm.
So the first entry fee, the first free pass you get is to the next San Antonio rodeo. Then it comes with a free entry, an invite to Houston Rodeo. And for those of you out there, if you know anything about Houston Rodeo, you've got to know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that's sitting next to somebody that knows somebody if you plan on getting in the San Antonio Rodeo.
Yeah.
Into the Houston Rodeo.
Houston.
A lot of those Houston Rodeo spots, man, are passed down like wealth to family members by some of these older folks. So it's not easy to get into. So if you win San Antonio, you get an entry into that one. You also get an entry into the Austin Rodeo,
Nice.
which is another pretty large event. Also a pretty large event. Along with that, man, you get I want to say you get like half dozen aprons, some hats, the banners, the vinyl flags or whatever you want to call them, the prestige, the money the money. A lot of people think that it's a bunch of money, man. But winning it twice with first place, each of those wins did not net what you would think it would. But that is something that, man, I would not give up for all the money in the world.
Yeah.
That is something that I would not give up, man, in exchange. Those banners. And I know Mama feels the same way about that. But Mama might have something to say about the money. You know what I'm getting at. Yeah, you know what I'm getting at.
CJ, how does the Houston
Tom
one
is absolutely
compare?
correct. Pays in terms of money.
Like you, no, I mean you said that it's
In terms of money,
like it's no, like the entries in order to get in. You're saying you got to know somebody and stuff. So you think that's where this one's headed, or I mean I don't know what the difference is. I've never.
I kind of think they've got eyes on becoming a Houston rodeo.
So is that
I'm glad
one
they're
just big
keeping it
companies like
sanctioned.
buying up the spots, or?
For most cases, yes. Houston is corporate. In my opinion, Houston is corporate. I mean, these large tents, man, they've got 5 and 6 spots, if not more, for some of them. There are a lot of hired hands cooking. So in terms of actual team,
yeah, I've seen their setup, and
yeah. In terms of individual teams competing, San Antonio Rodeo's got him beat there. You got lots of hired hands cooking for somebody, but I am not sure because Houston doesn't even make their entry fees known. So I have heard different things over the years, starting at $2,500 when there's a spot open, but that rarely happens. Yeah, that rarely happens. Yeah. And in Houston, there's no money.
What?
Period.
Oh, you don't win anything?
Oh wow.
Now you get that nice bow-legged trophy that's behind me, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get.
That's
again,
pretty nice, though.
Hey, that is. Yeah. Oh, you want that in your bucket list, man. You want to cross that off your bucket list. All right, you want to cross this off your bucket list. Oh yes. Right there.
Where? Oh,
Bow-legged Luke. Yeah, bow-legged Luke. And thank goodness, man, we were fortunate enough to reserve it last year, reserve grand champ.
That's awesome.
All right, let's see.
That had to have been a hell of a feeling.
Oh, yeah.
Man. And I've talked about it before. Coming off of our 2016 Houston, where we laid a big fat ostrich egg, goose egg. It was an ostrich egg because it hurt.
Yeah, but isn't that when you had to cook?
But coming off of that, man,
and all that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ugh.
So I spent twice as much for zero. And it hurt. I'm telling you, I had never been so upset, man. I was sweeping Wagyu briskets off of my table into the trash can. I mean, that's how painful that was. So being able to do a little better my second attempt was redemption. It really felt good. It really felt good. Let's see. JM is asking, how many rounds will the boxes go through next weekend?
My understanding
I think you kind of hit on that earlier.
My understanding is 3 rounds.
All right, so JM, 3 rounds. So okay. So if it's 3 rounds, JM, your barbecue has got to taste great
Cold.
cold.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, for the most part, all our barbecue tastes pretty good when it's warm, when it's hot. But as things tend to cool down and that brisket tightens up, is it still going to taste better than the next person's brisket or chicken or ribs? You know, thank goodness everybody's in the same boat. Everybody's will be cold, but will yours still taste as good as everybody else?
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I like CBA, because it's only single round judging. That's it. You get 6 people to judge, or 6 to 10, depending on how many people's on your table, and that's it. You get judged by those 6 judges.
Yep.
And yeah, oh, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt. Quick, fast, in a hurry, man. Food is hot, and they get the best of the best. My man Jorge, I am telling you, last year, since 2013, Mom and I have been cooking. We broke our streak of having at least one walk every rodeo, and not having a walk. You know, we come back from awards, and I pull out a bottle and we're drinking, and I decide I'm going to walk around and just start visiting folks, Mom and I, and we get one camp, maybe 2 camps from ours, and we stop at Jorge's camp, Jorge Flores, Choche. Cooks a mean barbecue down in where's Jorge?
Eagle Pass.
Where's Jorge?
Eagle Pass.
Eagle Pass.
Eagle Pass.
Choche's barbecue, Eagle Pass. So we stop at Jorge's camp, and I figure, all right, it might be around 9-10 o'clock. All right, I'm gonna hang out with Jorge for a hot second, and then I'll move on. It is now 3 a.m. It is now 3 a.m. and we're tore off the floor. We're karaokeing. We're singing. Jorge's father is cooking on the grill, man. We're eating. I feel no pain. I cannot even remember the award ceremony. And I'm here to tell you, we probably went 50 feet from our camp for the rest of the night, and it was one of the best Saturday nights, if not the best Saturday nights that I've had at San Antonio Rodeo. I think Mama finally gave up on me and went and hopped in the camper and went to sleep. But man, we had a great time. Yeah, we had an absolute great time.
That's one of the good things about San Antonio Rodeo.
Yes,
and it's a good time no matter what.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'll tell you, you have an even better time with one of those banners. But
oh yeah,
you can
I
still
bet.
party.
For sure.
Yeah. You can
But
still
hell,
party.
I got me a big old check and a banner last year for dessert. So
Walking back to camp with
hey, that
with
dessert was
them.
banging, and I told you.
yeah.
Yeah, that dessert was great.
Yeah, but they're the ones who got me
right,
in trouble right
James.
there. Aim 'em and claim 'em and his crew with Tito's. You want to talk about a good drink? They was right behind me, and I started drinking. Man, they just kept on giving me some Tito's vodka with some watermelon, and it was so smooth. I didn't even know I was drinking until I started walking. I was like, oh. I had my son drive me home because I wasn't even able to drive home. I was like, yeah.
And that is what I'm concerned about coming on Thursday night. Because if I come on Thursday night, I'm out a little bit.
Yeah.
And
Hey, we
I
can
don't know how
spoon
late
just
Mama's
like old
going to
days.
hang out
baby.
because she's got to go to work Friday morning.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Mama's want to crash because she has to work Friday morning.
I got a fold-out bed in the trailer.
Normally,
You're all good.
Mama would be off Thursday and Friday. So we'll
have the
figure it
campers out
Ken.
there as well.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, Didi, good to see you, man. I'm a little late in the chat. Didi's checking in. She's cooking a lamb. Wow. And a veggie melange. All right. Man, I had to Google melange. Might be something I need to cook. Yeah. Already made an apple tart for dessert. Oh, well, excuse me.
That sounds pretty good.
Where's it at?
Gourmet on me. What's up, Uncle Steve? How are you doing, buddy? Yeah. How are you doing, Uncle Steve? And another thing we didn't mention, man, the groups that they book for the rodeo concerts are awesome. They are awesome. I'm here to tell you, after my first San Antonio, when I stood at awards, we had 2 awards, stood at the concert after awards, and everybody to singing Neil Diamond's
Sweet
what's
Caroline.
the lady's name?
The damn trailer park song.
Yeah, Sweet Caroline.
Yeah.
There's a sea of white people, and I don't know the words. I went home. I memorized. Yeah, I kind of felt left out. I kind of felt left out. So I went home. On a mission. I need to learn the words to Sweet Caroline. I will never be left out again, white people. So we.
Well, why don't you sing it for us?
If you drink enough, you know the
Mom will
lyrics
tell
to
you.
that song.
Yeah. Mom will tell you it's played. Now
Hey,
I'm singing out loud.
That's their national anthem.
Yeah.
I feel you because I went to a Boston Red Sox game, and that's the same because they sing that song over there. And man, I was like, what song is this? I never heard it until then. And you're right. We go to Uvalde, and that's how they kick off the awards in Uvalde. With that song.
Oh, yeah, Sweet Caroline.
So like, all right, there they go.
Yeah.
Houston's
pretty cool.
rodeo.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Thanks, Eagle.
Cherie, man, you would love being a judge. Based on how many trays hit that table, you walk out of there stuffed. I think they try to give you a heads up. Hey, don't take don't try
Big
to
bites.
cut humongous piece. Just because it's free. It's free barbecue because it's you're gonna be stuffed. But I think San Antonio has enough judges that they're not using the same judges
Every
for
round.
different categories.
Correct.
Every round and every category. They've got more than enough judges lined up. So you might only get to judge one category.
Hey,
And,
do they
you're
charge
on
the
your
judges
way.
to judge? Or
Just to get in.
They charge the judges, right, to get in?
Yep.
Okay. Well,
Gotta raise that money, baby.
I have heard different. Yeah, I have heard different things, but I don't know. Yeah. Now, Scott is absolutely correct. For the San Antonio Rodeo, you as the public, you will have more access to some of the tents than Houston. These Houston tents, man, they got security out there. They're not going to let you in. If somebody got an invite that there's no +1 or +2, you're going to be standing outside looking in while your buddies go party. So at Houston, you've got to know somebody to get in. Want all you guys to go look up Uncle Steve in Houston. Mr. Bean, I think they know you've got a few of those banners. There are enough of your pictures across social media. Yeah.
Every time it's someone's birthday, he's got a picture holding the damn banner.
Yeah. Cherie, that's awesome, man. Found us through our gumbo recipe. Had no idea about the cook-off competitions. At our high, Cherie, we were doing between 32 and 35 every year at our high. And that was all pre-COVID. So pre-2020. And man, it was some of the best times hanging out with these clowns that we've had. Some of the best time. Let's see. All right. Buzz started competing because he was watching Aim and Claim. All right. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
I would say people watching, if they never seen CJ cook, I think the best thing about him is listening to his music. Man, I sat up next to him a few times, more than a few times, you know.
You damn sure get a lesson in cleaning too.
Yeah, and
Oh, man.
organization.
Right.
Yeah,
So he'll be listening to Tupac but singing Biggie. I'm like, wait, what? Like he'd just be total opposite. I'm like, but he be on step. I'm like, all right, you know, whatever, man. But yes, cleaning and like, so if I'm next to him, I feel like I have to keep my spot clean because it doesn't even look like he's cooking. I'm like, bro, did you even turn anything in?
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
A cluttered space make for a cluttered mind. Tim Milligan is asking, are they going to measure brisket slices like they've done, like he's seen him do in the past?
Yes.
I will
Lone
tell
Star,
you, I
yes.
kind of go ahead.
With Lone Star, man,
I kind
you
of
bring
stepped away
number 2
from
pencil. I'm gonna say,
yeah.
so
I
with
kind
Lone
of
Star,
stepped away from Lone Star back in the
yes.
day.
I know, right? I got it. Hold on. Yeah, so I know for a fact that I got turned away. So what I did with them is I actually had an extra slice of brisket in my hand, and they say, hey, this one is too thick. I put that one in. So they measure it with a number 2 pencil. You know, they have a little device, whatever. So don't be turning in some thick slices. So
Overcook it, turn it in thick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. that type of stuff kind of pushed me back from Lone Star.
Yeah.
There was a period when you would turn in your chicken, and they had in their rules that your sauce had to be cooked on.
Yep.
All right. Now there's no amount of time it has to be cooked on.
Yep.
All right. So if I sauce my chicken and I put it on that pit for 5 seconds, pull it out, did I cook that sauce? Yes, I did. But they would go at awards, and this happened to me at Cowboy Dance Hall. Turn in chicken, and they take a plastic knife and they slap it against the chicken breast. Now you just spent all this time in your camp, you know, creating that beautiful glaze, shiny glaze, and before any judges see it, you've had somebody spanking your chicken with that plastic knife.
Right? Thank you, meat.
Now wait all night to say that,
folks, to see if sauce comes up on the knife.
Oh wow!
Now, unless you dry your sauce out, which no cook is going to do, you're going to have sauce on that knife. But what upset me more than that was just that they kind of butchered my breasts in terms of what I showed up with to turn in, and what ended up being shown to the taste judges. We had a second place chicken that day, but that is when I started stepping back from Lone Star.
Yeah, bring a napkin with you for the same thing with chicken. If you have a juicy chicken, from the time you're walking from your camp to turn in, if there's some liquid in there, you gotta wipe it up. They don't want.
They don't allow the pooling in there either.
No pooling, no nothing, man.
I mean, man, we're injecting these chickens.
Yeah,
there's gonna be some pooling.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
So
I'll tell you, just bring a straw and just slurp it up. Yeah. See how they like that.
The old school way of cooking.
I'm gonna poke a little hole in the bottom,
who's had some
corner of the box.
Yeah, let it drain. Yeah, let it drain. All right, my man Ribs have had that rum. Champions Road, baby. I was hoping at some point San Antonio would do something like that, but they never did. Yeah, they never did. All right, folks, we are pushing 109. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Carlos, Rivs is asking, Cabritos at the International Village. Are you with him?
Who, me? I'm not.
Oh, he didn't. He didn't. All right, he didn't specify. He's just asking a question. So, folks, if you're there, check out the International Village. All right, you might get some free goat.
Oh.
What will you do for free goat?
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving. But folks, yeah, we've done some partying, man, over the years. We've done some party over the years, especially hanging out with Scott Stanish.
Mm-hmm.
Last year we met Double D for the first time. It was an absolute awesome time, man. Finally met Uncle Steve and a few others. Yes, and a few others. All right, moving. Didi, Uncle Steve, if you're still in the chat, Didi, Uncle Steve is asking, did you like your box? Brian is offering his skillful dishwashing skills.
Hey, Brian, I'm gonna be closer to you and Umbu. Come over there, bro. John, what
Cherie,
you cooking?
I will
cooking
tell
the
you, it's
brisket?
probably the same thing for most of us, man.
What was that?
Are you cooking brisket for Tom, or you doing brisket and ribs?
I'm doing brisket, and he'll probably do his ribs.
Okay.
And yeah, our chicken's pretty close, so we'll figure that out later.
Do you? It doesn't. Do y'all change your recipe for that cook-off,
Sure.
or y'all just cook what y'all cook?
It's cook where we cook.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe with the 2-round thing, it makes you wonder, like, okay, well, do we really got to salty? Maybe I don't. Maybe just a little more than usual, but yeah, that's a kind of game time decision, I guess.
Real quick, fellas, give at home with Cherie a quick synopsis, a quick summary of how and why you guys started competing.
It's pretty easy for us. I mean, we got involved. Our very first cook-off was the San Antonio Rodeo, and we immediately fell in love with the atmosphere and the people and made lifelong friends throughout that. And to us, that's more important than any banners or any awards you can win, is the friendships and the camaraderie that you build. And half the reason that's why we cook 5, 6, 8 times a year is to go hang out with our friends. And if we happen to do well, then that's even better, but we're going to have a good time anywhere we go. And that's what it's all about. You can never have enough friends.
Yeah, I would agree with him
sir.
too. Cooking, any cook-off with these guys, I would stop there, at least talk to them for at least a good, if we ain't prepping or whatever, and just talk, just enjoy it, just have fun. And that's one thing, and it's a good therapy for most of us too. We just go out there and just enjoy what we're doing. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes,
if I'm
sir.
not cooking at
Yes.
home, I'm competing or cooking for work. So same thing, basically. My first competition was actually Traders Village, and I cooked right behind Wade Carpenter from Uvalde over there, and he let me try some of his brisket turn-ins and stuff, and ours was definitely not going to place that day. I knew it right off the back, so that's when he hooked me up with you and stuff, and went from there. I loved it ever since.
Yeah, I got started.
Scott said he saw the head judge use her finger. All right, use her finger to check for cooked on sauce. That is not cool. Yeah, that is not cool. All right, this is going. We've reached the bottom of the chat, but man, this is a great question. Starting with you, Kay. What's your strongest category, and why do you think it is?
Man,
Put you on the spot.
I would say our ribs are the strongest category. Those are just what hit most, I guess. But I don't know what it is. Tenderness, flavor, everything. I mean, but I do think we have a pretty good rib. I'd like to think that about the rest of the meats too, but that doesn't always help. So,
John?
I don't know. Probably cross between the brisket and the ribs. Tom has a pretty good rib. I think he's done well there before, if I recall. And my brisket's been fairly consistent. for the past year or two. You know, so it's has a chance, I guess. So we'll see.
Man, I'm tossed between my
Los?
rib. I'm tossed between my ribs and my chicken. You know, I get on the run that my chicken will be just top 4, and then it'll fall off, and then it'll be my ribs. But here lately, within the last 5 months, it's my ribs. You know, my ribs. At any time I'm cooking my rib, I ask John. You know, I give him my ribs. He's like, man, I took a class last March in Beeville, man, and
They're pretty good.
yeah, this class, man, I took it was by far one of the most helpful classes for my ribs and my pork, and to this day I run 95% of that technique and recipe from that class. I'm not gonna say his name, but he's on this.
Send me the recipe. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. How it is.
Yeah. Send you the recipe.
Be sharing that.
What version is that? I may have an older version. I need an update.
Let me look at your notes.
Ours is
hey, let me
ours
give
is our ribs as well.
let me give you guys.
Go ahead.
All right. No, finish up.
Okay, ours is our ribs as well. We're most consistent with them, and I think that's something that we enjoy eating. We do well with brisket, and chicken is chicken. So I think our most consistent is definitely ribs.
Yeah, our chicken is the one that's I'm either first or last. It's just
0 to 0,
so
baby. That's like ours.
Chicken
brisket's pretty consistent, but it's the chicken. I just don't know.
I know
Chicken
that
is
feeling,
weird.
man. I know that feeling. All right, folks, we're at an hour and give or take 15 minutes, man. And we're gonna shut this thing down, call it a night. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. I hope you enjoyed hearing from these young men as they go into next weekend's San Antonio Rodeo Barbecue Cook-Off. I want to wish them all the luck in the world, man. Dude, I would love to see all of y'all top 5 with one of you coming out of the GC and reserve. That would be awesome.
None of us are going to complain about that.
Good luck. Good
Ain't
luck.
lying.
That makes 2 of us, CJ.
Good luck,
I
everyone.
bet.
Yes, sir, good luck.
For
Folks,
sure.
I wouldn't be surprised to see us maybe stream next Thursday from San Antonio Rodeo. We did last year, I believe, and we may try it again this year, even though we're not cooking, because it was a fun time. So we might stream if we decide to go out. Mom and I, we're going to stream from there. And if we're streaming, then that means I won't be drinking. Yeah, I won't be drinking heavily. So,
yeah, you will.
we
You're
should
going to set up at my
have
camp.
fun,
I'll make you drink.
So once again, yeah. So once again, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Get to work tomorrow, finish up, and then enjoy your weekend, man. Be on the lookout for another chat, another video coming soon. We've got a video dropping tomorrow morning, 10 standard time. Take a look and let us know what you think. In the meantime, we want you guys to take care of yourselves, look out for each other, and we will see you when we see you. Holla.
Good luck and humble.
Good luck, guys.
Thanks, brother.
Y'all
Same
take
to y'all.
care.
See you.
Later.